I just got down here to the river, made one cast, and we got our first smallmouth. And this is on a new lure too. Oh goodness, he shook my paddle tail. Quit, buddy. Oh, quit that. You're not gonna hurt you. Got a nice little juvenile smallmouth here. Let's put him back. Well, he spit my new paddle tail. He was jumping so much, but there's our first one for the day. Once again, this is a lunch break fishing trip. So the guys took off to go get lunch, and I know this area, so I came back here to fish one of my spots that I like to go to. Alright, so I was using a Storm soft plastic paddle tail on this underspin. This is one of the Fin Commander underspin jig heads. I really like these. It's by the people that do trout magnets, but this is a heavier size one right here. I think it's a 1/4 ounce or 3/8, and this is a Berkley power bait paddle tail. I'm gonna try on it now. I'd already rigged that other one up, and I even had it super glued on here, and somehow that smallmouth spit it. But we're gonna make this work out. This one's a little bit bulkier body for this, but let's see if we can get another one pulled out of here. That was literally my first cast, and it's really shallow. The water's so low. So in times like this, what I like to do is, first I'll cast out. There's a deep channel through here about a 1/3 of the way across the river. Like, it's just a shelf across from me, a shelf where I'm standing, a little bit deeper spot that has some grass and algae. So I'll cast out and just kind of bring it with the current back towards me as if it's crossing across the river. I'll do that a few times to cover area, and then after that I'll start casting upstream and just reeling it in fast enough that it's not getting snagged on the bottom, and they'll follow up to it and grab it, or they'll be sitting to ambush it. I'm on again. I'm already on again. It's no kidding. No kidding. Another smallmouth. Another smallmouth. Hopefully he don't spit my paddle tail. This is a bigger one too. This is a bigger one. Hey, buddy boy. And he bit my paddle tail in half. Dadgummit. All right, well, that's number 2 in 2 casts. Now, I don't want to be very specific about where I am, but if you watch, here we go, buddy. If you watch Ace Video's channel, this is actually an area. I'm right up the river from where him and his father like to fish a lot. And so when I've watched their videos, I've seen, like, this is an area that they like to go to as well. I've been fishing here for years because we do a lot of landscaping in this area. And so it's just convenient, you know, I can just walk back here and hop in the creek, fish at lunch, or sometimes I'll come up here on the weekends. The homeowner's really nice and he lets me come by. All right, well, I guess next we're gonna go, this is one of the Bass Pro. It's like a Kytek paddle tail. This is one of my favorite colors for smallmouth and for trout. This works for trout as well, but pink belly with a blue back. It's one of my favorites. If I'd have known it was gonna be this good, you know, we've been in a drought for a long time now, just very little rain coming, and it's just been ridiculously hot. So, you know, I just got back from fishing in Gatlinburg last week, and the fish were very inactive up there, so I wasn't expecting them to be this active today, but it is working out. All right, so we got this one rigged up now. Angle my camera down just a hair. All righty, well, let's see if we can go 3 for 3. I mean, I'm not just expecting that, but 2 for 2 is fantastic. And I'm fishing the shallowest spot first, so it's deepest about straight in front of me. And that's usually where I catch the bigger smallmouth. Oh, that was a bite. Oh, I just had another bite right in front of me. I watched that little smallmouth come up and grab it. Look, he pulled his pants off. Let's get him fixed back up here. Yeah, they are feeding today. My goodness, this is amazing. I'm glad I walked down here. No wonder Asa likes to come down here so much. I've seen him do his underwater videos, catching crawfish videos in this area. Oh, that was a bite. Oh, that was another bite. Okay, so now I'm casting across from me. I'm letting the current get the, create some drag on the lure. And then I just let it slowly drift back towards me, keeping it about midways in the water column. And that way it keeps the bait suspended in a single, in a pretty small area for a long time. And it allows the fish to come up, look at it, get behind it, and just try to crush it. And that's a good technique I like to use, is cast across from you and just reel in fast enough so that the lure is just coming back towards you really slowly at about the same elevation in the water column. And smallmouth seem to like seeing them moving slow like that. But using the current of the river allows you to cover a whole lot of area with a cast and actually stay in the strike zone for a lot longer. So you have a lot more chance to actually get a bite. I got caught up on some grass there. Once you feel that you've got grass or algae stuck on your lure, you're best off to just go ahead and bring it in, because I've never had a fish bite when I had algae or grass hanging on the hook, trailing behind it. I mean, if you ever look at fish and minnows, you don't ever see them like with algae stuck to them or anything like that unless they've been hooked and you've pulled them through it. All right, let's try another spot. And I'm gonna dump the gravel out of my right shoe. As I walked out that last time, a bunch of gravels got in my shoe. So. All right, let's let this guy loose. Thank you so much, buddy, for biting. Thank you so much for biting. All right, you're good to go, bud. You are good to go. He's just swimming off that way now. Oh, thank you, Lord. Such a blessing. So cool. Awesome fight. Big smallmouth. Of all the fish that I target, smallmouth bass and trout are the most fun to me to catch in the current. He took my paddle tail off. But I'm gonna try to fish it like this before I just waste another one. The other two, one of them got bit off and only the head of it was left on the hook. And in the first one, it just got completely shaken off the hook. Like I said, it was the first time I'd ever used one of those. It was a storm something minnow. Oh, that was a bite as soon as it hit the water. Okay, let me repeat that cast. Oh yeah, that was definitely a bite. Okay. Rinse and repeat. I'm so glad I walked down here. That was a bite as soon as it hit tube. That was a bite. All right, get it back to me. Fix my rig. We're gonna go for at least one more. So I've only been down here at the water for not even 15 minutes. I turned the video on as soon as I started, and I was at 10 minutes and so many seconds when I cut it off to take a picture of that fish. And now it's been 1 minute and something since I released, or since I started the camera again to release it. I think I'm getting bites. I'm getting bites there. There's a fish over there hitting it. And it doesn't seem like a small one because it's feeling like some weight every time it nibbles it. But with my paddle tail bit off, see that paddle tail creates a little bit of drag in the water. And it helps it to keep from falling as quick, and it also kind of acts as a bit of steering to keep your lure spinning center, or running center and true. Okay. I had that first one was all rigged up for me. I had it super glued on and everything, and that first smallmouth just chomped it and tore it up. But I do recommend super gluing your soft plastics when you're doing this, so that you don't have to keep doing what I'm doing, where it gets the pants pulled down, meaning the soft plastic gets pulled off of the bait holders on your jig head. Got so excited I forgot to put my sunglasses back on so I can see better. So I brought this paddle tail set up with the underspin. I brought a spinner bait, and I brought a little Z-Man crawl, just on a 3/8 ball head jig that I could try. But this underspin has just been killing it. They really seem to not like it. Thing's making a funny sound. This is my Pissy Fun reel that I got. John from Creek Fishing Adventures, John Dalton, he had recommended, he had tried some of their stuff out and seemed to like it, and recommended them for the price. So I ordered this one, and I've been using it for I think over a year now, and I've really enjoyed it. Haven't had any troubles out of it with casting or longevity, how it feels. It's been a good one, but it's never made any racket like this before. I'm getting bites, I'm just not hooking up. Got something on my hook point there. We'll walk down a little bit further here. I don't want to go too far. Like I said, it's lunch break. We only get 30 minutes, and I don't want to take advantage. But the other guys had to run and pick stuff up, go get lunch. They had to go back and pick some stuff up for the job, so it gives me some time down here. Seems like they mostly want it coming downstream with the current. Oh, that was a good bite right there. Maybe I should have gone upstream instead of down. I think not having that paddle tail is actually hurting me more than I expected. Just as far as how the lure is maneuvering and running. Okay, so I'm switching up to a little bit bigger style paddle tail. This is another one I really like, silver belly, blue and black back, and it's got some blue flake on top and silver flake on the bottom. It's another one of the Bass Pro Shops, kind of a Kitech type style paddle tail, but I really like them as well. There's a few colors of those that I just really like. The fish just seem to really draw to them and pick up on them. They're pretty durable. Like today's kind of I don't know that I've ever had a day where I had 2 paddle tails get ripped up that quick. They normally last me a good while. Like most of the time I can fish with the lure for weeks, catch 10 or 15 fish on them. Old Faithful, my spinner bait that I've used in so many videos, I got another one. It's a smaller one, but he's here. That is 4 smallmouth on my lunch break so far. Hey Budro, you're okay. You are okay. All right, let's get you back in the water. We're just having a whole family reunion, aren't we? We got the brothers and the sisters and the cousins. And that was either mom and dad, number 4 or number 3. But I'm glad to get to meet all of you. We can always be friends. Believe me, you won't see me do a smallmouth catch and cook unless one of them gets hooked so bad that it's gonna die, and I'm not gonna waste that fish. But that's one thing the smallmouth are just so precious. You don't see big ones that often in the areas I get to fish. And so I really don't like seeing smallmouth catch and cooks. Largemouth, I'm not as worried about them. There's a lot more of them. There is a decent amount of smallmouth in the area I live, but not as many that are big, you know. And there's rules for how big they have to be able to keep them. And by the time they get to that size, then, I mean, that's just a fish that needs to stay in the water and keep breeding, I think. If they would let people keep maybe smaller ones, you know, that might help with the situation, but I don't know. I don't get mad at anybody for it, but it just hurts my feelings when people are eating them, because they're pretty precious to me. It's, like I said, it's one of my favorite fish to catch. I mean, that's one thing, if you're in a survival situation, if you're starving, you're needing to feed yourself, there's fish that are easier to catch than smallmouth that taste just as good, if not better, and that are more plentiful. You can catch them faster. But if you're making videos to like imitate survival and going out and doing all this stuff and harvesting animals just to make a video, I'm not very fond on that. I want to make videos that are fishing and farming, and if I'm harvesting an animal, that's an animal that I raised, fed, and took care of just to make food for my family. Like next time we harvest some rabbits, I'll probably make a video of that. But I bred the rabbits, raised the offspring, fed them specifically to be food for our family. Just like we have chickens that we use for the eggs. And then also we can breed them and harvest them if we want chicken. I have the cattle, you know, and if I breed them and end up getting a bull, then we'll turn that bull into a steer, and that'll be our beef for that year. But you know, that's planned out. It's not that I'm doing it to make a video, but when I do it for the family, I'll make a video of it, and none of it'll go to waste. I mean, with the rabbits, when we do them, every bit of it gets saved. I save the feet in case somebody wants to make keychains. The heads from the rabbits are great for setting traps. You know, we've got all these animals at the house, and you get predators coming around, and so you can use any of those scrap pieces for your traps, for catching the coyotes, the possums, the raccoons, the foxes, the skunks. The skunks are one of the worst for getting our chickens. They'll come in and bite their neck, and they just like drink the blood out of them. They don't even eat the animal. It's just a complete waste. So I got no problem with putting down a raccoon or a skunk or a possum. Well, I'm gonna have to get headed back here pretty soon. I'll make a couple more casts just in case. But 4 smallmouth, 1 smallmouth on a day going fishing is just a blessing. The Lord gives us so much fun stuff that we can do and enjoy in our lives. And you know, a lot of people nowadays would rather be playing video games, being inside, and it's just, this is something you can really be proud of. It takes a true skill set that can help you the rest of your life. Start calling this my Piss of Fun DC. All right, I'm getting a call here.